All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakak, Wadash. I want to say give double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. Shalom to the elect. Lord willing with some of those men and women, bro. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from JMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And it's a reply video to another reply video. This is a reply video from the elder Barak Gabar. His page is GMS Rebuke the Tempter 2. Please subscribe and be edified. Okay, and he replied to a video that Elder Manata Zakba from South Carolina did regarding this particular video, right? And in this video, you got a so-called Negro, so-called Black American man who is basically trying to refute being a Hebrew Israelite, right? And he doesn't know anything about Israelite culture, Israelite history. This guy don't know anything about life before slavery, you know, and even what Jake was doing in West Africa as well as the Americas, right? And all signs point to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitian as being the Lord's people, the children of Israel. All signs point to that. Okay. And how do we know that? Because we left a lot of our history in those places where we dwelt at. Okay. And a lot of Jake don't understand that because they don't want to reach back and they don't want to look at the things that pass. Like the scripture says in the book of Jeremiah 6 and 16, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Hawashai, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. So Jake, even back then, would rather walk in the ways of the heathen, in the ways that weren't good, versus walk in the ways of our natural history and culture, than following up the laws, such as commandments of Yahweh Bashim Shai, which is the good way. Jake don't want to hear that. You know, Jake want to hear that they're African, that they're Hispanic, or that they're Spanish, or that they're Indian, right? But who were you before you came to the Americas? Even when you were living in West Africa, and not every Israelite that looked like a so-called Negro came from West Africa. You got Gadites here in America, so-called Native American Indians that look like so-called Negroes. You got so-called Negroes that came out of Europe and was pushing to the slave trade, right? Via cargo slave ships, with the first stop going to Africa, right? And then they picked them up and then they would take them to the Americas through the triangular slave trade. So again, Jake doesn't want to see themselves as Hebrew Israelites, like the scripture says in the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. It's the book of Isaiah 1 and 3. Okay, Isaiah 1 and 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Right? You don't consider that you're the Israelites. You don't consider that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is your God. Right? You don't consider these things. You just look at things on a surface, for surface value, right? You don't consider yourself that, hey, I may be the people of the Bible, right? You don't want to associate yourself with that. You would rather be Greeks, like Jake did in the ancient world during the time of Timothy. His father was a Israelite that loved the Greek ways. He preferred the Greek ways over his natural cultural ways. But his wife, which is Timothy's mother, she held fast to her ways and her culture. She knew she was an Israelite, grew up following the customs of the Israelites. She believed, right? And so that you have the same dynamics happening today when you see videos like this.
We are not Hebrew Israelites. There is no kingdom of Judah at all in West Africa. You saying actually we Hebrew Israelites know your heritage in West Africa links up to ancient Israel? Ain't no way, ain't no goddamn way. When, where, and how did that ever happen? The Igbo do not subscribe to the um, Israelite culture. The Akan, all of this shit is opposite of what you're talking about. Christianity, Hebrew, all that shit washed up with the motherfucking just don't want to admit the shit.
Yeah, this a nigga that's too deep for his own nigga too deep for his own good, right? He don't know shit. This is a person that's without understanding, and we ain't mad at dude because he's in the world, he's asleep, right? But he clearly doesn't know, right? He said the Igbo people don't have anything to do. Let me rewind that.
Christianity, Hebrew, all that shit washed up. The Igbo do not subscribe to the um, Israelite culture.
And that's a lie. This is a book that I have. This is a book that I have called Igbos. Includes over 25% of African Americans, Hebrews, because you had several types, several people, several Israelites that were calling themselves Igbo, which they didn't refer to themselves as Igbos. That's it's a misnomer. But I'm gonna break it down. You had the Igbos, you had the Yoruba people, the Akan people, you had the people all of this area right here. Israelites dwelt here. All of this area right here, West Africa, is known for having Israelites that escaped to Africa. Matter of fact, there's a book called I got it right here, From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. Write this book right here, from Babylon, uh, from Babylon, um, to Timbuktu, from Babylon to Timbuktu. Okay, and it speaks about Israelites going into Africa after 70 AD, right? Slocky. I'm just trying to get a bigger picture. Yeah, from Babylon, this book right here, From Babylon to Timbuktu, on page 83. On page 83, it says this. It says, in the year 65 BC, Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus, as well as a man named, this is not in a book, but as well as a man named Tiberius Julius Alexander, who was an Israelite who preferred the Roman way, right? So Vespasian and his son Titus had a so-called black general, Israelite general, who helped take down his own people. So it says in 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that during the period of Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves, right? So that's a prophecy that's in the Bible, right? It speaks about us being scattered. Like, it wasn't just one forced migration, there's multiple forced migrations, multiple migrations. But going back to this book right here about the Igbos, right? I also have this book in front of me. This is from page, it speaks about the term Igbo and where it derived from, right? And I just want to pull something out about it, right? Because I got a couple of points that I want to make in this book. Because this guy don't know nothing, and Jake don't read. And it's crazy because you see this picture right here, this image right here. He got this library, but he don't understand what he's reading. Like the scripture says, ever learning and never coming unto understanding, right? See, Jake would rather be committed to that so-called Afrocentric thought, that Pan-Africanism, back to Egypt thought process. And that's all wicked. And here it is, your enemies who created so-called African American studies and Egyptology, your enemies, they created that so as to keep you hidden from the truth. All right, from the truth. So this dude said that the Igbos had nothing to do with the Israelites, right? Well, I have information to refute that. Right here, this is off of page 63 in the book Igbos, Hebrew Exiles from Israel, and Amazing Facts and Revelations by Professor O. Alizi. Off of page 63 in this book, it says, it is common knowledge in Nigeria and beyond that another nickname for the Igbos of Nigeria is the Jews of Africa. The Hebrew lineage claim of Igbo has gone beyond the shores of Nigeria and is now receiving international attention in the Western world, including America, right? It says, keep on reading. The Vatican and even Israel, among the Orthodox and non-Orthodox Jews. This is evident in the following two publications: the Newsweek magazine, April 16, 2001, page 52, and a popular Israeli newspaper, the Jerusalem Post, April 2nd, 1999. In Jerusalem Post, Rabbi Capers Fungi Jr., the only black Jew sitting on the Chicago Board of Rabbis, told Sue Fishkoff in an interview that several African tribes still consider themselves descended from the Hebraic stock, including the Igbo of Nigeria, the Tutsis of East Africa, the Tutsis in the Tutsis of East Africa. The Africans brought to the New World as slaves in the 18th and 19th centuries were mainly from areas of the tribe with Jewish roots predominantly. And why is that? Because that was prophecy. Okay, that was prophecy. I have some more information in his book, right in the same book. It says Jewish origins of the Igbos, perspective from history and divine revelation. It says right here off of page 54, the first British explorers who met the Igbos of Nigeria were quick to identify them as a branch of Hebrews. And this is from 1938. So simply referred to them as Hebrews, Hebos, Ebos, and later Ibos, right? But during the time of the first documentation of the history of the Ebos, the early Ebos who knew very little or no English, following pronunciation of the new version of their original name by their colonial masters, deviated from the name Evite, is as in Ivite, Ifte, or Ihite, and began to use the popular new foreign language of the colonialists, and so also refer to themselves as Hebrew, a corruption of Hebrew, where you got Nate saying that we ain't Hebrews. IUIC said we're not Hebrews. We can't call ourselves Hebrews, but we're the Hebrew Israelites. And our forefathers and foremothers in these places where they were scattered, they didn't just forget themselves overnight. It took a process of time, and especially with the transatlantic slave trade, something called the seasoning process, where they basically beat the shit out of you and beat your culture out of you, and all you took on from that point on was a slave identity, and your children that were born within that captivity put on a slave identity. That's what we had until the Lord woke us up. All right. This is Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. All right. So we lost our land, we lost our culture, we forgot our history. But even though we went through those things, our forefathers and foremothers who were in these places, they still did things and held things fast from our ancient ways. One way is the way of circumcision. All right, I typed this up. It says, where in the world are male children most circumcised? Male circumcision is most common in North Africa, West Africa, and the Middle East, and this is places where Jake dwell at. And Ishmael, they do, I think they do circumcision too, but they got to be like 14 years old. It says where where more than 80% of men and boys are circumcised. In some countries in these regions, circumcision is almost universal. You know, they're going off, right? And then it says right here, in America, United States, the rate of newborn circumcision in the United States is between 56 and 59%. So outside of America, the next largest group of people that are circumcised are the people of West Africa, North Africa. And why is that? Because you had Israelites dwelling in those areas, right? They have, another thing this guy said was that,
The Akan, all of this shit is opposite of what you're talking about. Christianity, Hebrew, all that shit washed up with the motherfucking Europeans. That's where all of this shit come from. Y'all just don't want to admit this shit. Wasn't no Africans in West Africa talking about Yahweh prior.
and that's a lie. That's an absolute lie. I used to have this website for slave voyages, and I got it from Elder Kazak from Mississippi, from one of his old videos. But he brought this website up, and you could put people names, and you could put the name Yah in there, or you can put Bunya. Man, I wish I could find it. Salaki. So Khan, so this man said that he says that what no Africans in West Africa talking about Yahweh, right? So then I just typed in, there's a website called slavevoyages.org, and I got this from Elder Kazak. I called him up just now, and he confirmed the website for me. And then if you go on his website, you can go to here and go to names, right? You go to names. It's like you go to you go to names. These are all Hebrew variations of Hebrew names, right? And then you also, if you want to look up names, you can put up words in here. So I just typed in Yah, because that's the beginning of Yahweh, right? You got Yah, right? I just put Yah, and this is what happens. You got names like Ayah, which this is a Hebrew name, and it's what Igbo, Ayah, Igbo, Ayah, Igbo. You know what I'm saying? All of this is Igbo. So what is this dude talking about? You see a lot of these jakes that get on these platforms, TikTok, YouTube, wherever, Instagram. A lot of these jakes, they get on YouTube trying to look the part of an intellect, trying to look the part of a spiritual man, trying to play the part of a spiritual man. But you got to realize that a lot of these jokers, they're set up, they're agents. A lot of these people are just misled people. They're causing the people to err. All right, that's what they do. All right, they cause the people of the Lord to err in the way that they should go. Matter of fact, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. It says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the ways of thy paths." And that's what a dude like this man is doing. He's causing you to err. He giving you the look of an intellect, make you think that he's reading. He got the glasses on. He got the books in the background, his own so-called personal library of a bunch of nonsense, you know, and versus looking up something, being a prudent about what he's talking about. Because even if you don't agree with a topic, you should still know what that topic is about, even if you're against it. So you should know the points of views of a person that's pro for. Why is this person pro Hebrew Israelite? Well, this is the information and documentation this person has, searched out and made him or her come to this understanding. Or if the person is against it, well, this is the information that this person came up to refute other people. But instead of that, you just talking, and you got clips like this, these TikTok clips, and they go viral, and the people just, Jake is already, what's the word? Jake is already, there's a word for it, discouraged. So you further discourage Jake. You were somebody before you came to Africa. Who were you? Where were you on the world stage? Right? Who were you before you came to the Americas? Where were you on the world stage as a nation of people? All right? And this is what we're explaining. So what this man said was completely false. and it wasn't based on sound facts. Okay, he just speaking out of his own heart.
But no Africans in West Africa talking about Yahweh prior to the.
And that's false, because I just gave you two books. We went to a website where it gave you a database of names of slaves, Israelites. And it ain't just the Igbo people that are Israelites, the Yoruba's Israelites too. We got brothers in the camp that's from the Igbo people. Yoruba people. I remember I met an Igbo man out here in Hawaii, man, and he looked at me and said, "You look just like an Igbo, a man of Igbo descent." He told it to me. You see, but see, Jake don't understand. You know, Jake don't understand and don't want to understand. Amah. This is Hebrew. This ain't Hamitic. This is Hebrew right here. And he's a brother that came from the language group of the Ibibo or Moko people. Igbo, Aya, Igbo. All of these different names, bro. What is this nigga talking about? Azama. Azama. That's Hebrew. Azama is Hebrew, man. Even brothers from people from the Guanea are Israelites, right? Gaba, or Bagba, Imba, Ba. Those are Hebrew. That's a Hebrew letter, right? Bangadam. Listen to this. Barabanya, which is like a son of Yahweh. Barabanya, right? And remember, your names got changed, right? Baya. These are all, that's Hebrew, man. Right? Baya. These are all Hebrew names, right? Bay. Da. You know what I'm saying? Baya. Come on, bro. What is you talking about, man? Niggas just be talking and don't understand what they saying. You just talking because you got a mouth. And the scripture says when you come to the house of the Lord, you're supposed to keep thy foot when thou coming to the house of the Lord. Be ready to hear it and get a sacrifice of food. The sacrifice of foods is speaking your mind, speaking whatever comes to your mind without any resources to back it up. Right? A lot of you jakes, you on this Pan-African, black, Afrocentric shit. Esau created that whole dynamics, that whole field of study, Egyptology, African studies. The Edomite told you who you were. But when he told you who you were, he lied to you because we are not African. Right? He said that there was no kingdom of Judah. He said there was no kingdom of Judah, right? Well, this is a map of what you call Negro land. That's what they call sub-Saharan West Africa. They called it Negro land at the time. And this is where primarily the Israelites were dwelling at, as well as North America. Well, I had a picture right here of the same map, and it says right here, the kingdom of Judah, or Wida, slave coast, Wida, Judah, F. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? Jake just talking shit and don't know what they talking about, bro. And that's why everybody ain't meant to open up their mouth and speak. It's really meant for the men of the Lord to speak. And when we speak the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah.
Motherfucking white man showing up. I know y'all his fam. Y'all gotta let this Hebrew Israel.
Hey, shalom, Yasha'Allah, peace, Israel. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Wahar, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles, the elders at Green Millstone, the men that taught me this truth through the Spirit. Peace and blessings to the elect of the house of Israel that's scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you few sisters listening and learning. Shalom to you as well. This is going to be in response to the Zaquan Manatazakba reply. Y'all gotta let the Hebrew Israelite shit go. Hashtag Africa, hashtag African American. His channel is GMS South Carolina 08. Lord's will, it's going to be in post production so you can see his channel in the video that I'm responding to. So you seen the clip in the beginning of the video. We have a clown of the week, you know, someone that's trying to bring us back to black culture, bring us back into captivity of learning the ways of the heathen, trying to make us follow all the ways that led us into captivity back into captivity. you know, and it's like leave the Hebrew Israelite stuff alone to follow what? Egyptology, black culture, hip hop. What are we leaving this marvelous light and marvelous mercy to return back to darkness for?
Exactly. And that's exactly what that is. Jake wants you in darkness. Men love darkness rather than light because their deeds are shown in the light. They get reproved. That's in the scriptures, bro. Okay, so I just wanted to do this quick reply. Please watch this video. I haven't finished watching the whole video, but I know it's edifying on so many levels, and I was allowed to be edified and edify you as well. So please subscribe, and I hope you're edified. If you got questions, leave them at the comment board so I can reply to them. If you got any concerns or whatever, let me know, and I'll do my best to reply to you as soon as possible. With that, I'm saying shalom and on to the next.